Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome. Your Fielder's Choice, DFS Pre-Lock Live for college basketball, and it's a Wednesday. Weird time, 5:15 p.m. It's actually 5:20. Thank you guys for joining us. Another big slate tonight because the NBA All-Star break, so it's probably one of the last bigger, Wednesday slates of the year. But I'm here. I got Chris Duffy with me. What's up, Chris?
What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. We here last night. Had another good night last night. We've been talking pretty much about the slate all day. Another new slate, it looks like, and it starts at 6:30. So we're gonna move through this pretty quick, guys. But once again, your Fielder's Choice. Check us out. It's a free Discord, but premium college. We do all sports, tennis, NASCAR, soccer, all that stuff. So, but we're here for college hoops. We're gonna move through this quick. We want to be out of here by like 6:15, so we have time to start our lineup because of the early lock. We're going to hit each game. I'm just going to bang off Chris. I know Chris has been hitting it hard today and ask him any cash plays, any good GPP plays, any news, and then we'll go on to the next one. All right. If you guys have any questions, hit us up in the YouTube chat. If not, maybe in the general room of your YFC Discord. But let's go. We got a lot of games to go through tonight, which is weird. So first game tonight, 6:30. We got Mississippi State traveling to South Carolina. Mississippi State 2.5-point favorite. 139 over under. That's what I have. They may not be the latest, but South Carolina, not a great offense. Mississippi State, actually not a bad offense, ranked 64th. Let's take it quickly. Chris, anybody you have first in this game? I know you're not Iris and Molinar guy, but anybody looking at cash in this game?
I mean, I am a Molinar guy, and I think it's a decent spot for him in a pace-up game. I don't know if I'm not going to be paying $7,900 for him. He has tilted us. I don't mind if somebody tilts us in a good spot, but I just can't get there today. There's this Garcia guy who's 3,400. That's it would be nice if he starts. I don't know if he's going to end up in the cash game. He's just purely a punt. He's been getting decent minutes, has good rates. And then I wrote down one of the bigs on my notes here. Probably if I was going to go anybody, be Tolu. I do think it's a decent spot for them just because of the pace up and close spread. And then on South Carolina side, I did put Bryant. I still don't mind Bryant at 5,700, especially if he's going to get 30 minutes. Yep. If he's going to get 30 minutes, I will. I'll give him another shot. So I've got him mixed in some GPPs. I don't really have him for cash. Outside of that, I don't really have any interest in anybody.
So this Anderson Garcia is getting a little bit of love today. $3,400 from Mississippi State. The main thing is he played last game. He played 24 minutes. He put up 20 DK points. The game before that, he played only 16 minutes, but put up 28 DK points. I have. So it looks like when he's on the floor, he's been doing well. I'm seeing some decent projections from him. So I do know places that are actually pushing him as a cash value, as we do need some cash value if you want to play some of them stars tonight. So if we're making like a cash bucket, I would probably put Anderson Garcia at $3,400 as a possible cash play tonight. And that's pretty much it for cash in this game. Like we like Molinar, definitely a GPP play. Tolu Smith, like I said, and definitely Keyshawn Bryant. We've seen Keyshawn wreck slates before. We've also seen him do bad. So but definitely GPP play here. So that's the first game. Sorry if I'm talking fast, but we got to move through these games pretty quickly. The next game is the other 6:30 game. Of course, it's Creighton at St. John's. St. John's is actually a 4.5-point favorite. The number 84 offense in the country. St. John's are also the number 8 ranked pace team. Anybody that plays St. John's is going to get a pace-up game. That's what we get tonight, 150 over-under. I think that's the highest over-under on the slate I have right now, right? I think it is. With St. John's, the favorite, they're actually ranked with them at Auburn. So they're the highest over under, but I think Auburn's the top implied. So there may be some plays here we're looking at in cash. We all saw what Champagne did the other day. He's back, and I was prices up. Posh Alexander's a decent play. Anybody you're looking at here for this game and this pace-up game, Creighton St. John's?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good 2 game at 6:30. It's hard to just skip over them. So you can't just wait till 7, skip those guys, but it's definitely somebody, some guys you want some exposure to. I don't have as much as I originally thought I was going to have. I can't get up to champ at 9K. and him and Posh are the only two I'm considering. Posh is the one I'd probably have more interest in, just because he's cheaper and just he looked really good last game. And then on the other side, I know some people, it's back and forth on who people are liking. I personally like Hawkins the most. And I think he's played like 40 minutes the last 3 games. It's just a up-paced game. If Calc somehow gets in foul trouble, St. John's been a lot better lately. I'm not saying
Yes, they
Calc.
have.
I won't say, Calc, I think, has a great shot to have a good game too. There is a possibility for fouls. He's on the road, but either way, I think Hawkins edges him here. He is priced 300 more, but I still I got more Hawkins than Calc. And then I don't know what to do with Alexander. We were using him the last couple of slates, and then obviously we know he went off last slate. I think I might have put him in a few, but I think he's still viable in the up-pace game if you want to get some pieces from this game.
Well,
if he stays out of foul trouble, he can get 20, 25, no problem.
okay. First of all, actually, this game I should have mentioned when we start. This is a possible news game because Alex O'Connell did get hurt in the last game, so there's been some talk. He's a game time decision. At least it's a 6:30 game. So if O'Connell's out, that does put that kid Ratty Andron Chevalier, who's only 3K, into play. We actually played him one day last week. When he's on the floor, he's doing good, but he really hasn't been getting the minutes. The DePaul game he played. But if we find out O'Connell's out, check out this kid for 3K, Ratty Andron Chevalier. He becomes a value, and possibly a cash value, but he's so cheap. Anybody else here? Hawkins, I think, is a great GPP play. If anything, he's been on fire. He's been and mostly against these pace-up Big East teams. His last 4, 61 DK, 40 DK, 45 DK, 37 DK. Hawkins has been smashing, so he's in play, but probably GPP. And then I think you mentioned St. John's, guys, and I also talked about Ryan Kalkbrenner. I think Kalkbrenner is a good spot. We know that can get hurt inside. And he didn't have a bad game in the last St. John's game. I think he had like 30 DK. Even though it's a good game, I think most of his guys are cash plays because some of the stars you have playing tonight. I mean, GPP plays. So Posh, Champagne, Kalkbrenner is possibly cash, and then Hawkins all GPP, and to keep an eye out for Alex O'Connell in case he's out.
I mean, Champ is one of the better leverage plays on the slate because there's some guys like Kedler and Dickinson. So he's great leverage, and he starts early, so you can tilt from 6:30 till 8:30 tonight Eastern. So,
and Champ smashed that last game. Was it Friday night? Friday night, I think it was, right?
I didn't.
He's back.
There was another slate. Somebody used him, and he went ape. And I didn't think he would, but shows how much I know.
And St. John's is playing much better. So
Butler,
and they're favored. Yep. All right, so move on to the next game. Now we get the 7 o'clock game. We got Rutgers going to Michigan. Michigan 4.5-point favorite. Michigan, not the greatest defense. Rutgers is not a bad defense. They've been playing better earlier defense than they have lately. But Michigan's favorite at home, 134.5 over under. The big news here is Diabate is out on suspension for Michigan. So we do have some value possibly here. Diabate's out and Terrence Williams is out. So first of all, that puts Hunter Dickinson as a major cash play. He's been so volatile for us, but he isn't played tonight as a cash play. Also a value play. And we want to see who's starting because if Brandon John starts, he's going to become popular, but possibly Kobe Buffkin may start at 3K if they decide to go a little small instead of Johns. So another news we want to see who's starting here. To me, Dickinson is a definite possible core play. Who else are you looking at in this slate, if anybody else? I know you mentioned Ronnie Harper.
Yeah, I'm not quite as high on Dickinson as everybody else is, but his price is pretty intriguing. If he was 9K like last slate, I almost would not have him in, but I'm using every dollar I have pretty much, if not only 300 left over. So he's a good spot with this price, and he's going to be chalky. So I don't mind it. And then yeah, Brandon Johns is the guy I'm pretty much overweight on. I'm thinking he's going to start. I'm hoping he's going to start, but you know, he was a 6.5K player when the season started. You know, he's a senior. He's definitely having a down year. But his defensive rebounding rate in conference is at 22.9. You know, it's better in conference, but you know, I think he's chalky. He's 3K. I'm hoping for 10 points or so at the worst.
And if he gets us 12 fantasy points, he makes
Yeah.
4x. So
Then you know, there's other guys. The only other guy I would consider on Michigan is Houston. You know, he might get a little more rebound. He's at home, young freshman, should be a star. I like him. He's got okay rebounding rates. You know, and just rates overall. Yeah, the only guy I'm really considering on Rutgers is Big Ron. He's still got, you know, he's got 23% usage, you know, 16% defensive rebounding rate, 11% assist. You know, they're about mediocre across the board, but this is one of the cheapest we've seen them, and it's warranted. But you know, if I'm using Hunter and you know, and John, sorry, I would look at him maybe as a little run back, but I don't know if he's going to end up in my cash. But outside of that, that's all I got.
he's a definite run back play. This is the cheapest Harper's been all season and possibly even last year. He was actually 6'9" back in no, that was last year. So yeah, cheapest he's been all season. So Dickinson is a cash play. He's hurt us a lot though this year. He's actually helped us, but he can be your cash line if you don't have to play him, but his price has gone down. John's definitely going to be chalky, especially if he starts at 3K with Debate out. And then Ron Harper, who definitely can crush a slate. And I'd rather have Harper at home, but he's in Michigan. But hey, it's Ron Harper, 24% shot rate, 28% usage. So it's Ron Harper. So, but to me, definitely could be a GPP play as a run back. Some news going back to that Creighton game, though. It looks like Kaluma and Alex O'Connell are actually warming up. So, I mean, that's nothing, but they are actually on the court about a half hour ago. So even Arthur Kaluma, who's actually supposed to be out to the end of the month. All right, so that's that game. The next game we got to look at is going to the CU Texas game. This is more of a defensive battle. They're at Texas. Texas 9.5-point favorite. Really low 127 over under. I don't have much to look at. Well, there's a couple of plays here, but I don't have too much to look at. I love the Timmy Allen place at 5'9". Just not sure about cash, but Timmy Allen is not a 5'9" player. Well, either is Marcus Carr, Andrew Jones, but to me, all GPP plays. I don't usually mess with going up against any of these guys, either TCU, their defense. So to me, I'm out on this game. Are you okay? Anybody?
Yeah, I mean, if I went in order, it'd be Allen, Carr, then Jones. You know, Allen, you know, he's still a pretty decent play at 5,900.
Stay out of foul trouble.
He got in foul trouble last game, but I don't think they'll face that too much this game. But you know, I'm somewhat considering him. And Carr, man, I wish he would just start being his old self, man. We can catch him on a good game, but I would consider him for GPP for sure. But outside of that, I'm not looking at anybody, and I'm not looking at anybody from TCU.
And Carr's so off and on. Last game took 6 shots, game before that 11, then only 5 shots, then 13. So we all know what Carr can do. We see him do it in Minnesota, but GPP play only. So I don't have any cash plays for that game. Moving on to the next game, the West Virginia game. West Virginia traveling to Iowa State. Iowa State, obviously a favorite at home, 5.5 points. Iowa State, the number 11 defense in the country. You usually don't mess with Iowa State defense. 133 over under. Neither of these teams really push. Yeah, well, West Virginia does push the pace a little bit. So looking at this game, I'm a big Taz Sherman guy. Huge Brockington fan. But if anybody, to me, Brockington is borderline cash. Isaiah Brockington, because of that price tip, he's down to 7.4 now. I love Brock. I love those rates. I'll play him every night. I may even play him on main lineup tonight. He's kind of borderline, but I like Brockington tonight. I think Taz is even borderline cash. And we have a value play I'll let you talk about. Al-Jazz Kunk for Iowa State. Looks like he's starting now. I'm playing some minutes here at only 4,400.
Yeah, I really like Hunt. He's got around a 16% rebound, a defensive rebounding rate, and some good offensive rebounding rate. And that's going to go up as he's starting to get minutes. I would think he's starting to get around 30 per game now. He's got a 3% steal rate. Let me see what it is in conference here for his defensive. It's a little lower actually. But attacking West Virginia, you want guys that are defensive rebounders. Yeah, I think he's one of the more decent ones. If he can get 30 minutes, I think he's firmly in play. I'm looking for as a main team play, if not my second, a borderline cash. But I'm super high on Brockington tonight. That's I'm definitely a lot higher than the field on Brockington.
Man.
When I am looking at him, he's got a 21% defensive rebounding rate, 26% usage, 11% assist rate. But to me, there's nothing really justifying his price going down to 7,400. I could see 78, 77, something like that. He didn't have the greatest game. I used him last time against West Virginia. And, you can beat them in the middle and he goes to the hoop. He goes in. Part of the reason I like Kunk is, you want guys going to the rim. And he does that. I think, and I do like Kunk, but I don't know if Kunk is, kind of smoke, just kind of tricking us a little bit, but I still think he's in play. But if I preferred and I got to anybody, it's going to be Brockington. I'm definitely overweight on him. I like Sherman. Just let us down, but I think 7K. It's okay play. Yeah, I would put him in a good GPP play there. And
I'm with Kunk.
Go ahead.
I think Kunk's more of a cash play. I don't think he's going to go out and win us a GPP. I just think he's probably a solid cash K at 4.4. He should be able to get us, 4, 5, 6 F, get up like 18 and 20 DK points. That's how we're really asking for him. I think Brock's more of a cash or GPP, but I wouldn't play him together probably. All right, you got anything else from this game?
No, I'm good.
All right, next game we got Syracuse, my Orange Men traveling to Notre Dame. Another news game. So we got, where's Syracuse? Notre Dame 4.5 point favorite, 144.5 over under. Syracuse, we know Syracuse, big pace up team, number 30 offense in the nation. They play that zone. You beat Syracuse by shooting outside or interior offensive rebounders. So there is news tonight. Main news is looks like Nate Lazewski is a game time decision. He's been injured. Been hurt sick. Sorry. Exactly. If Nate Laz doesn't start, that to me, that jumps up Frank Atkinson to me to possible cash play carrot territory because of that rebounding. So I love Atkinson if Nate's out. Blake Wesley is a core play of mine. Wesley should bang that outside. Dane Goodwin, I think, is in a great spot too. Hitting that outside, hitting that Syracuse zone. They're my top plays. To me, Syracuse is all GPP plays tonight. I usually play Syracuse, but they're all GPP plays. But I love Wesley and I love Atkinson if Nate Lazewski is out. What do you got from this game?
Yeah, so like last night, I think Nance was in a better spot than Atkinson is. But we got Nance actually only like 55% in most double up cash games, which to me was insane. He should have been around 75%, I think 80. But this is a good spot. If I just don't get why Notre Dame's not playing Atkinson more, around 30 minutes. If you just look, if you're just game log chasing, when he's getting 30 to 35 minutes, he was crushing. I mean, 38, 26 is a little low, 40, 30, 35. I mean, to me, he should be playing at least, 27 to 30 minutes. So, they have a tight rotation, but yeah, if Laz is out, I'm putting him firmly in play.
Yep.
And then I'm probably overweight. I don't know. I think the industry is going to like Wesley, but I'm overweighting him. Him and Brockington were two of the first guys in my lineup this morning. He's starting to pick up. I liked him last game. I didn't get him in as much as I wanted to. And he's shooting a three. He shot 11 threes last game. He gets the Qs, gets Syracuse, who had a great win last game. And I think he shoots some threes. And I do like Goodwin too. So I like Goodwin more, I guess, if Laz was playing and then you didn't use Atkinson.
Right.
I would still love to use Atkinson if we knew he'd get minutes, man. But we'll have to wait for the news. And I actually, before we were told that Laz was sick, I liked him too. He shoots threes. He gets some rebounds. 5,200. I think he can get 20, 25. We used him on Saturday. He only got 16, but I don't know if I'm using him tonight because of this illness, but and then on the Q side, I just can't find anybody it's gonna, Notre Dame's gonna slow it down a little bit. I just don't find myself. I'm still a Jimmy B fan today. I used him last slate. I liked his PrizePicks PRI last slate. I think he's in play. I think Swider's in play. And them are the two guys I would use most from Syracuse.
Thing about Syracuse is they're pretty much all appropriate priced, so you're not getting much value there. And they can all. Buddy Boeheim could get hot. He has been playing well, though. He can get hot from three and nuke the slate. You like Jimmy Boeheim, so do I. But to me, they're all GBP plays. Gerard's been playing well, then had a crappy game last game. So even though I love Syracuse, GBP plays. To me, Blake Wesley's a great play, and I don't see much ownership on Wesley. So he may come in, fairly low owned. I think Wesley's in the best spot tonight. And then we want news on Atkinson. If Nate Wazowski is out, then I possibly want Atkinson in my main lineup because of that rebounding ability. Syracuse just cannot stop anybody, any inside. So that's where Atkinson comes in. All right, next game we got. We're like halfway through. Duke at Virginia. This is another one. Duke traveling to Virginia. They're 5-point though favorites on the road. Duke number 5 offense in the country. Virginia though has always had that reputation as a great defense. This year not as great, but still they're holding teams down to low scores, 130.5 over under. There's not going to be a really paced up game here today. Honestly, I'm not looking at anybody from this game in DFS. I do like Jaden Gardner if I was going to do anybody for GPPs, but with this over under of a 130, but I said the 130, I said 130.5. I'm not playing anybody in this game unless I'm multi-enter, and then maybe after maybe 10 or 11 lineups. But that's all I got for this game.
Yeah, I mean, I do like Bench. I wrote him down. I think he's a decent GPP play. 8,700 is fair. He got 30 against them last time, and he was 1 point and 1 rebound away from a double-double. So shoot, he gets 1 more point, 1 more rebound. He's at 35, 36. I just think he's a good GPP play. I don't have him that many GPPs and cash at all, but I would consider him. And then Gardner, I think is in a decent spot. I think he did pretty well against them last time. It was a 69 close game. Yeah, Gardner got 32. Gardner was only 7,100 at the time, which I think we talked about him then. I'm not sure, but I think he's a good GPP play. His usage is really good, and it's going to be an up-paced game for Virginia, which is every game. But outside of that, that's all I got.
Thank you, George Wimberly. That was a nice call because, and I just saw it come across. It looks like Nate Wazowski is expected to play, so downgrade Atkinson a little bit. So it looks like right now, I just saw a tweet from Tom Nui that Wazowski is looking to give it a go tonight. Thank you, George. All right, next game we got. Where are we? Wake Forest, Clemson. So Wake Forest on the road, 3.5-point favorites still on the road. They're ranked 42nd offense in the country, 58th ranked pace team. So they're going to push the pace. Clemson, usually a slow team, 250th ranked pace, but not a bad offense. You're ranked 70th, 145 over under. So there is some plays you can look at in this game. But the big news we're looking at here, first of all, on the Clemson side, is PJ Hall. Hall went out the first minute of the last game. If PJ Hall doesn't play it, and is trending toward doubtful that he plays. Uptick on David Collins at 6'6". He's like the main one we're looking at. And then maybe guys like Naz Bohannon, Ian Shufflin. But we need that PJ Hall news because David Collins at 6'6" possibly becomes a decent play because someone has to pick up all that usage of PJ Hall. Hall's take some crazy usage for Clemson, so somebody's got to pick it up. So that's the news for Clemson. We need the Hall news. And of course, Wake Forest, we got Alonnis Williamson, Jake Arabia. Both those guys are always triple-double, always chance for triple doubles. And I love Williams today. What do you think, Chris, on this?
Yeah, I'm pretty big on Williams today. His price came down to a reasonable price. Week or two ago it was at 98. It's now down to 91. He's still got 42, 34, 32 DK points. He probably shouldn't be 9.8. But 9K is about fair. And Clemson, man, they haven't been the best defensively. And this was a pretty high scoring game with a tight spread there. So I like Alonnis a good amount. I do like Laravia, but Alonnis is only 500 more. So I'm going to find the 500 to get to him. For Clemson, yeah, we're waiting on the news. If Hall's out, all the guys are in play. The guys you mentioned, the only other guy I would mention, and I always like this guy. He hasn't been doing as well the last week that I thought he would be, is Chase Hunter. I think he used to go somewhere, he's 4.9. I think if Hall's out, he can get 20, 25, get you 4 or 5X, no problem. Because there's some news, like if let's say you want to look at Reeves, but you had money, but then Bynum plays or not Bynum, but Durham plays, you just go to Hunter. I think Hunter's firmly in play as a strong GPP play. Sorry.
Hunter, like I said, I like Shufflin too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Shefflin's going to be somewhat popular, but you got to wait for that news. The nice thing is
definitely it falls out.
You got the 2 games, and then you got most 7:00 games, so it should work to your favor. But you might have to be glued to your screen until 7:00 Eastern.
Definitely, yeah. You want to be checking Discord. This one, this nice night, you want to be checking Discord, definitely. All right, so enough of Clemson game. Xavier at Providence. Next game, Providence, like the surprise team in the country. I still don't think they're that great. Providence a 1-point favorite at the Dunk. Tough place to play. Those fans are crazy. It's hard for players to hear. It's hard for them to even think in their heads. They say 137 over under, not the greatest. Providence, 72th ranked offense. Xavier 109th. Xavier's always had a good defense, 47th. These teams play real fast. Man, for Providence, this I tell you, Jared Bynum has gone crazy, and he's had a really good string of games. He's only, what's Bynum, 6'9". I think Bynum's in play in cash. I mean, I do. His last game, 29 DK, 28, 45, in a 53-point game. So against Georgetown, I really like Bynum tonight. To me, he's like borderline. Beside that, though, Nate Watson, I don't know what to do with him. He just doesn't get the minutes anymore. AJ Reeves a decent price, but did I see news on? We're looking for some other news for Providence.
Yeah, I think Durham was on the court.
Durham, yeah, that's what it was. Durham was on the court.
Yeah, he was on the court, but
to me, this is a GPP game. I don't know. Even the Xavier guys, what do you think? It changed my mind. It's a GPP game. It's you.
Yeah, Bynum's price a little too high. I remember the days a couple of weeks ago you told me Bynum sucked.
High force.
He was 4.9 and he didn't want to use him. I've always liked Bynum. I just don't see myself getting to him because I'm high on guys like Wesley and Brockington, maybe even David Collins. So I don't see in this game, and we don't know the Durham news quite yet. We'll know by 7, so that's another game at least at 7. If Durham's out, he's definitely in consideration. Won't take you off him, and he needs it. Definitely a heat check. So I'll he's shooting super efficient, I think. That's pretty
He's
good.
also going to come down. He's also going to come down to earth eventually
Well,
too. He's
yeah,
got
come down to
29%
earth,
usage.
but it's just I can't do it with the price tonight. But he's firmly in play. Outside of that, I looked at Scruggs a little bit, or let's call him Scrubs. I mean, 6,600 is low. I mean, I don't know. It's a decent price. I wrote him down. I did like Reeves if he can get 30 minutes. That's only if Durham is out. And then Nate Watson, I think GPP only. Outside of that, I don't really have anybody written down.
Yeah, Paul
Oh,
Scruggs is down in the
hold on,
6-6
yeah.
plan.
Yeah, that's for Providence. Xavier, I did write down Nunge. This is a good spot for him. He should get the minutes. He's been getting 30 plus. His price is starting to get up there, but it didn't change. It hasn't from last slate, and what popped out too. Oh yeah, he got 37 last time against them. It was a close game. 62-65. I don't know if it went to overtime, but it's a good spot for him against Providence here. They're going to need him. So I think Nunge is definitely a leverage maybe off a calc or something like that.
That's a good call. Yeah, I can see his leverage at 7-6. He's definitely the best play if you're going to play anybody from that Xavier team. Like I said, Scruggs is down to 6K land now. I think that's his low point this season. So, but once again, GBP plays to me, if anything, buying them but the price. So, yeah, that's that game. So next game we got on the slate here is Houston at Tulane. Tulane's usually an exciting team to watch. Houston 9-point favorite though on the road. Houston number 8 offense, number 4 defense. Tulane decent offense, 137.5 over under. Man, I don't know. This is another thing. I don't mess with Houston too much. In DFS cash, maybe Fabian White. I mean, because too many guys. They got White, Sheed, Edwards, Cartland, but I don't know. I just don't. It seems like none of these guys really nuke. Maybe aside Fabian White. If I'm gonna play any of them, it's Fabian. But
yeah, definitely.
That's all I got, man. It's just maybe Fabian White. Probably you can play Fabian cash because that price.
Yeah, he's firmly in play. Also, you got him, Nunge. I'd probably go White if I had to choose the two. He had a great game last game. He's getting 30 minutes, 35 minutes a game, which I love right there with the
even in foul trouble.
Yeah, well, Carlton, his rates are insane. I mean, let's see here.
And he was a scrub at UConn.
He's got a 26% usage rate, 17% offensive rebounding, 17% defensive rebounding. He's just not getting as many minutes. I like guys who get the minutes, but I think Carlton's in play. The price is up there a little bit. He jumped 700, but if he got 43 last game, then 27, 14, 24, 15. He can do it in this spot. Oh, Tulane is just terrible rebounding. I mean, both offense and defense. So Carlton and I would rank them Fabian White, Carlton, and then Edwards, because Edwards has a good rebounding rate, but Edwards has great. I love guys who got good peripherals. I don't have him as much as I probably usually would. He did get overtime last game, and I didn't use him last game either. I don't know how many points he got in overtime, but because once again I'm on some other guys around that price range. But I could be wrong. He could be the play over Brockington. He could be the play over Wesley. I think he's firmly in play. You gotta kind of get how you feel there. So I'm good.
No, I ain't playing him over Brock, but Fabian White had a good game in Tulane last time. I know it was the last game they played. I think he had like 35 DK points for Fabian White. So, but you said, like I said, Houston plays such a condensed rotation. Any of these guys really in play. Maybe it's just me. I don't know, but they're all in play really. But White's probably the favorite. Tulane, I'm not messing anybody. Kevin Cross is probably the best play at $7,400. Pretty consistent player. But Houston is not an easy matchup to go against. So, if anything, you're playing Houston for this game, right? Yeah. All right, next game, Mississippi Ole Miss at Auburn. We got Auburn, 16-point favorite at home. Number 33 offense, number 16 defense, and they pushed the pace, ranked 41st. Mississippi, just a middling team, 200 offense, number 113th ranked defense. We said 140.5 over under. This is Walker Kessler's in this game. Walker Kessler's has been a huge DFS player, especially with those blocks. I love Kessler. I love the price. The problem is lately he's been in some foul trouble lately and blowouts. This is another one that could be a blowout. It's a tough one. You play Kessler and Hunter Dickinson today, or you just play one of them. You play them both. The Kessler is going to be popular today in cash at 8,500 on Auburn. And then Mississippi, I like Jarkel Joyner, 5,600. I think Joyner's close to a core play because of that price, as long as he's back, because he was out last game. He was sick. What do you got beside Joyner and Walker Kessler, or even those guys?
Yeah. So first thing I said this morning in the Discord chat was, it's a juicy matchup for Kessler. I still think he should be 9K in this spot. Maybe 9,200. Yeah, he had 16 points last game because of foul trouble, but they'll play him with some fouls. But man, he got 57 last time against them. That's not even why. I mean, it's just I think he should be 9 to 9,500 in this spot. I definitely got him. I pretty much got him in the main for sure. The other guy, Jabari Smith, man, he was tilting us a lot beginning of the year, but he has come on and he's fun to watch too. I think he's in play here. It's hard to get, I think he's more of a GPP play because all the other guys I mentioned before around that price range. But if you're not playing Kessler, I would get Jabari in one or two for sure. Get him mixed in there. Outside of that, yeah, I'm with you on Joyner. And then there's, I always like this guy. I don't know if I'm going to get there today, but my buddy Luis Rodriguez.
Yeah, there you go.
Once again, I love guys who get peripherals, man, because you got guys who are hustling out there.
Good rebounder.
You don't get in foul trouble. He's a great rebounder, great assists. I think he's firmly in play, and I just don't. I'm going to spend 400 more on Joyner, and I don't know if I want two of them. But if you're wanting this game to stay close and you're using Kessler, it might be a pretty good option to put them in. Put them both in, Joyner and Rodriguez.
Yeah, so that's your price. One thing I've noticed, Kessler seems to play better in these blowout games, and Jabari Smith is better in the close games, and this should be more of a blowout. And that's why I like Jarkel Joyner for Mississippi, Ole Miss, because he's going to be in a negative game script, playing catch up, trying to shoot the ball, going crazy. He's a shot leader of the team. So high shot rate, as long as he plays. Once again, we got to make sure he's playing. He was sick last game. So I think this game for cash, Kessler's a cash play. Joyner is a cash play. Luis Rodriguez, 5,200 is borderline cash. I do see him popping up in some of the optos.
I don't think Joyner played against him last game, right?
No, Joyner's been
I would
out
maybe maybe do a little game stack of Kessler, Jabari, Rodriguez, and Joyner there.
Yeah, he was out, Robert.
We saw last night with the Georgia, the Georgia game, where it stayed close. Quindo, who's starting to become an absolute star, helped keep it close. And it was a different outcome. So I'm not saying that's going to happen here. I'm just saying it's good 8:30, late, and they go off. You start jumping over people, and their projections on all four of them are pretty decent. So I think it's viable.
Definitely, I think this could have some DFS coverage here at the end of the day. I think GPP winner could come out of this, like with a Kessler or even Jabari Smith. But we like Kessler, like Joyner. We didn't really talk about Wendell Green, but I don't know. I like this could run back game. You could even game stack this. I think this game may go a little bit over people think. All right, last game of the night, Butler at Seton Hall. So they're in Jersey, 8.5-point favorite. Seton Hall is at home, 130 over under, kind of a crappy game environment. We know Butler Their pace are 336 in the nation, one of the worst tempos in the nation. Definitely the worst one. No, that actually Virginia's the worst one on a slate. So Virginia, Texas, and Butler here today. But it's going to be a slow ass game, even though Seton Hall does like to push the pace. Man, we always like Bo Hodges. He's still cheap at 6,100. He's playing like 40 minutes when he was playing. What's the game total, man? I don't see anybody here in cash, but possibly Bo. I don't know, Jared Rhoden maybe for Seton Hall. But this is, to me, it's the last game of the night, 8:30 on the Auburn game. I'm not playing anybody from this game in cash, right?
No, not anybody in cash. I like Bo Hodges, of course. You know, and the only other guy I got written down is Rhoden. Rhoden had a tremendous game last time out. Last slate. Or wait, am I? Oh, sorry. You know, he's thrown in the mix there, but Butler defensively has not been the greatest at all. And that's part of the reason I didn't use Champ last slate, was because I thought Butler was going to slow things down, and they didn't slow him down at all. You know, I don't think Rhoden's as much of a heat check as Champ is, but
No.
I think Rhoden's firm. I think Rhoden and Hodges are in play. You know, just throw them in the mix for GPPs. You know, put them in your late night thing. You know, your 8:30 games there, and just shoot to the top.
I think the main problem is Rhoden had a great game against DePaul, like I said, but it's just a game environment. It's just going to be such a low-scoring game, but you never know. We've seen it happen before. All of a sudden, these guys blow up. So Rhoden, great DFS player. He's going to play almost 40 minutes. So is Bo Hodges from Butler. So, all right, that's a slate, pretty early slate. George, let me say Joyner's good to go, so that's good. I'm looking at Joyner as one of my top plays tonight, pretty much, I think, in cash, as long as he plays. So do you have any, and honestly, I have not looked much at the slate, at the late game slate. What's that, the 9 p.m. slate? Do you have any top plays you wanted to go over quick for anybody for 9 o'clock slate? Or
Yeah, we got a couple minutes here. Let me open up my notes. I took them down for this one. Let me see, but I'm gonna try to have a sheet posted. I'll post one in the chat there, and then you know, I'll give some. It's a little tougher slate than I originally thought, but it's still fun, you know. And it's with these late slates, they're normally a continuance of the studying you already did. So I had to basically study a whole nother set of games, and then lineup construction for those games. So I put so much time into the main slate. I'm going to put a little more time between 7 and 8 here. You know, once the 7 games, like, you know, I did put a good amount of time in already, but I just need a little bit more time. But let me see here. You know, and while I'm looking for this, PrizePicks, I had Hawkins over PRA and Wesley over PRA, and also Brockington over PRA. I've been liking attacking the PRAs because a lot of times with these guys, I've noticed when their rebounding is down, maybe their points are up a little bit. And these young kids, you can't predict them. Like, you can look at sports books and all that other stuff, but nailing, you know, it's not as predictable as NBA. But I found that when one thing's slacking, the other one's maybe going up a couple. So, you know, I them are the 3 that popped out to me the most. I'm not comfortable enough to go into, like, I don't do many single props with
I saw the Dane Goodwin over 21.5 points, rebounds, assists. I like that one too. Dane Goodwin over 21.5 points, rebounds, assists.
All right, so yeah, for the night slate, you know, I'm gonna core, of course, Johnny D. Then there's some value on the Washington State side. You know, and we got to know the Kentucky news. You know, and I'll just say this now because I'm probably gonna lose my ass tonight because I'm pretty much doing a full fade on OT. You know, I know Pete's he's gonna yell and not agree with that, but you know, that's kind of where I'm at with that. You know, I guess Willis was you know, he's questionable. Keep your eyes for that. Another guy I really like is Darius Johnson for I got him as pretty much my core play, or one of them. You know, Freeman's going to be some value for let's see here, for UCF.
Darius Johnson, that freshman's been playing great. 5-3,
Yeah,
I think it's a good place.
well, and Mahan, I think is out too, so that's just going to give him a little more time and usage. I still like Perry. I just think it's an okay price. I don't have him. And then, there's a good amount of plays you can mix in and out here. I'm not going to tell anybody not to use OT, but I personally am not, and I may be crying at the end of the night while I go to sleep.
I agree with you. LSU is a great defense, one of the best defenses.
But see, I don't mind going to Toppin because he's value if all the other injuries are there.
Right.
So I have Toppin as a top value, also injury dependent. But I'll get a sheet up and we'll see if we can have some fun tonight.
Just looking to me, Terrell Brown is. I play him almost every slate. He won the jam for me not too long ago. I'll play Terrell Brown. We had him as you were talking all day about him being a late night hammer. Was a hammer again tonight. So I love Terrell Brown. He'll probably be my top play. And Andre Jackimowski, I think is other good value. Darius Johnson, great value playing him. And in this, I didn't realize it's Wisconsin. Johnny Davis is on the slate also. So yeah, you can probably get away with fade no T tonight. I'm playing Terrell Brown, and then Toppin, of course, for Kentucky is the value. But that's the late slate. Chris will pop something up in our premium college room with his top plays. I'll throw some in there. I'll definitely throw a core number 4-9. Still, right now, I'm looking at a core, and it may change. Though right now, personally, I'm still looking at either Dickinson or Kessler. I like probably both Dickinson and Kessler. I like Jarkel Joyner as my top value. They're my top 3 plays. And we pretty much went over all the other decent cash plays, but I like Dickinson, Kessler, and Joyner as my top plays. And then we got to see if any lineups are out yet. Is the kid from Mississippi State start, which I don't think he is. So we got to get some news going. The 3K kid.
Chef was my sneak last night. I used him in the late slate for sure, and I was already high on him, so I had missed the Cambridge news, so it didn't matter a ton to me. I'm just pissed because I had Blackshear as my last piece in, and that's it probably wasn't the best choice, but it was the last spot. I had 5,900 or something, and I put him in. I really should have went to Gurley Shaver, but either way, tonight Brockington's my not sneak. He's not sneaky, but
no, I agree with you.
That's my low. He may be lower owned, but I'm pretty high on him. And then Wesley, and then
didn't even mention Wesley. You're right. Yep.
Value is Conk and Brandon Johns, and then that's it for that.
Other news, it looks like Al Durham is expected to give it a try tonight for Providence. Nate Johnson is out for Xavier. So Durham giving it a go. Looks like Bynum's probably back to 6-man, but maybe he's actually better at 6-man. So, but that is going to downgrade Jared Bynum a little bit for Providence. All right, so that's about it. We have about 20 minutes to lock. So, George Holmes asking for Brown news. There's so many. Yeah, I got so many players on my mind right now. We're talking about the late slate.
Yeah,
but it's good to know Joyner's good to go.
Yeah, I never saw any news on Brown. Unless something popped up today, but we'll have time to deal with that.
No, not that I know of.
A little later, yeah.
But we got to figure out also about AOC. If he doesn't play Ratty, there it becomes a decent play for Creighton, and then we'd like to know if Brandon John starts. All right, and also PJ Hall for Clemson. That's a big news. If PJ Hall plays or not, he's trending toward doubtful, but we've seen that happen before, so we need that Clemson news also. All right, guys, thank you. 6:09. We got about 20 minutes to lock. We got some work to do. Need some lineups to come out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, John Moffa, our producer. Thank you, Chris Duffy, for joining today.
Good luck.
And peace. Deuces are out here.